Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me and coming back if you're returning to my channel, and thank you also if you're new, welcome. I hope you really enjoy this video. As I promised, I'm doing another chateau visit today, and today I am at the beautiful town, it's a beautiful medieval town of Lassay-les-Chateaux, and we are actually in the Pays de la Loire and the Mayenne. And so we are at the most northern part of the Mayenne, and this is a real landmark for this area. Lassay-les-Chateaux means the castles of Lassay, and it's castles in plural because there's 3 good well-known castles in this particular area. And I'm going to show you why I absolutely love this castle so much. It's a real typical dreamy fairy tale fortress castle. It was built around between the 12th and the 15th century, and it's just a beautiful medieval style fortress. It has 8 towers. It's always been privately owned, but it's still privately owned. It has beautiful ramparts, the remparts. You can see the defence ramparts here, and it also has a barbican. So it has everything you would expect of a beautiful medieval fortress. It's a very popular town, so there's a lot of people around at the moment. So it might get a bit noisy. At the moment, it's fairly quiet here, just right now. It has a beautiful drawbridge, so it has the typical drawbridge that you would expect to find in a medieval fortress. It has every single feature you would expect to see in a medieval castle, and I absolutely love it. And inside, I mean, this is not a ruin. Inside, it is absolutely fantastic. It's beautiful. It is one of the most well-preserved, well-kept medieval fortresses in France. And that is really something. And the only thing is that it's shut. Inside is closed at the moment because it's privately owned, and it's only open during the summer months. But it opens in May. And I will come back and do a video in May to show you around. I have been here a few times, and it's just phenomenal inside. But the outside and the history of the grounds and the town is absolutely phenomenal. And I think it's a well-deserved exploration today. And I just can't wait to show you around. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I'm going to get on with the video. If you like my channel, if you like more videos like this, if you like my channel, just give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Just push that little bell and subscribe to my channel and make this channel possible so I can grow it more and do better things for you and make it even greater. Okay, let's get on with the video. So as you can see, it has this beautiful gate, this old gateway. This is all original. Everything here is original and beautifully well kept. And you can go for long walks all around this chateau fortress. And you can see these beautiful towers are just absolutely incredible. So it is classified as a historic monument, and it is an intact example of medieval military architecture. And when we go inside, when it does open up, we will go around and look more closely at the barbican and the second drawbridge. So this would be the first entrance to the castle, and then you would go into the barbican area, the defence area, which is absolutely extraordinary. And then it takes you through to a drawbridge, which will take you into the entrance into the castle quarters, living areas. So this is one of the main entrances here. Yes, you can see the ramparts here, les remparts. beautiful. So it has a 2-storey barbican. So it's a fairly small castle inside. You can live in the castle. They did live in the castle, but it wasn't built as a kind of just a live-in castle at all. It was built for defence. So it's a military fortress. But it is absolutely stunning inside. So some people have very nicely let me come into their home to see the view from their terrace. And I've been invited to have a coffee on their terrace. So I have not refused. Their kindness, their generosity is absolutely phenomenal. So I'm actually on somebody's terrace here, looking out to this view. So you have the chateau on our right. It's currently being renovated, one of the towers. So it does have scaffolding up. And we can see the view of this beautiful lake. So Lassay-les-Chateaux is a small town located in the department of Mayenne, which is in the region of Pays de la Loire. And it is 90 kilometres from Le Mans and 50 kilometres from the historic town of Laval, which is the chief town of the Mayenne. And Lassay is classified in France as a small town of character. Here you can still find the way of life of rural France, a smaller corner of the country just in the Mayenne region, but close to the Normandy border. As the name of the town suggests, there are several castles in Lassay. The first is Castle Lassay, which was built in 1458 on the site of an earlier castle that was demolished during the 100 Years' War. And it is a very sturdy and imposing castle that still retains the 8 towers, the curtain walls, the barbican. So, oh my God, I've got something to say. That was just absolutely incredible. I had to stop filming because I was invited into the home of the people that live next to the chateau, who live in one of the historical buildings. And they invited me into their home, and I've had a coffee with them, and they're just absolutely lovely people. Lovely. I've just met the most beautiful, lovely family, a big family, and they've sent me back on my way feeling rejuvenated and renewed, and with a heart filled of love and of goodness and of positivity, and I just feel absolutely amazing, and I've made some new friends. So the fortified castle of Lassay, built in the 15th century, is located in a land of legends. It is in Lassay that Saint Fraimbault, Saint Evangelist of Maine in the 6th century, was buried. The legendary life would have inspired the Chrétiens de Troyes, the Christians of Troy, to create the character of Lancelot du Lac, of the Lancelot of the Lake. Unlike most medieval fortresses, often abandoned or dismantled or remodelled over time to become pleasure residences, Lassay Castle has survived the centuries without notable modifications. It is therefore an exceptional example of military architecture from the 15th century, homogeneous and still intact. Its history is that of a stronghold located on the borders of 3 provinces, Maine, Brittany and Normandy. As a result, Lassay was the subject of numerous fiercely contested sieges in the 15th century during the English invasion, then the Breton Wars and the 16th century during the Wars of Religion. From the 17th century, its military function fading. Its owners remained attached to it and they lived there, allowing it to proudly brave the course of time until the present day. Its unique silhouette, with its 8 towers connected by a rempart and its barbican, is forever imprinted in the imagination of those who saw it. Victor Hugo, struck by this silhouette, made a famous drawing of it. Lassay Castle is a member of the historic residence. So this is Lancelot's, one of what could be the Lake of Lancelot. Oh, look at this, it's so lovely, the little hidden steps that come down into the stream. And they would have done their washing down there as well. Absolutely stunning. This lovely weepy willow. Is the lovely old chapel of Lassay-les-Chateaux. I'm not sure if it's been converted into a house. I'm not sure. I'll have to go up and have a look. Let's go round here. These old wash houses still, all these old medieval buildings built around, surrounding the castle, they're all completely original. And unfortunately one of the towers is being renovated, but they have to upkeep this beautiful chateau, so it means regular maintenance to ensure that it stays here for many, many more years. So yes, one of the towers is being repaired. We have the old laverie, and we have some medieval gardens down this way, but look at this old laverie. I think this is one of the biggest ones I've ever seen. So obviously they would have done their washing in these parts. And down here, I will show you, there's the big pots that they would have heated up a big cauldron in here. They would have put some red hot coals inside at the bottom, and they would have placed a pot on the top, and they would have done their washing in there to make their white linen go really white. That's where they would have hot washed, basically, right in here. Absolutely beautiful views from here. I mean, these towers are just incredible. So this castle is made from local granite, local stone, with slate roofing, and it's so pretty, absolutely stunning. And then we have all these surrounding medieval buildings, stables for their horses, their cattle. I mean, what a view. And so during the guided tours on the inside of the chateau, when you can visit during the summer months, you can discover the functioning of a 15th century military garrison. The guide will open the furnished rooms, bedroom, weapons room, kitchen with its curious granite vegetable garden and a beautiful collection of old copper. And on the first and last visits of the day, a rare experience, the public is invited to manoeuvre the drawbridge. A walk in the romantic park completes the visit. So there are other interesting monuments in Lassay-les-Chateaux and attractions, which include the Benedictine convent and the church of Saint Fraimbault. The town centre of Lassay-les-Chateaux has 2 bakeries, 2 coffee shops, 2 restaurants, a small supermarket, a post office, and even a large supermarket in the outskirts of the town. Certainly everything you need for your visit. It also has a very beautiful rosary medieval garden. So the rose garden, as the name says, is full of many varieties of roses, such as the beautiful star profusion and summer wind. Even in summer, it is a very quiet garden and also a place that you will remember. It is said that there are 300 varieties of roses here, a real fairy tale world. The garden includes 2 spaces, and in the other part of the garden there are lots of trees and beautiful plants. The medieval garden is an authentic recreation of a typical garden of 500 years ago, and it has a beautiful variety of herbs and herbal gardens too. Now we can't see all the towers from here because they're hidden over on the other side, but you can actually see a little gargoyle up there. It looks like a kind of lizard or something up on the top of the tower. probably to scare off any bad negative energies or people with bad intentions or something. So Lassay-les-Chateaux, this beautiful castle, this medieval castle, was actually demolished during the 100 Years' War. So there was previously an older castle that was built from wood that would have been here, which was actually demolished during the 100 Years' War, and then they rebuilt this chateau that's standing today. And so it is one of 3 castles in the area. You have the Château du Bois Thibault and the Château du Bois Frou, and these chateaux all are within proximity to each other in the area. And the Château du Bois Thibault, I really want to go to all of them, but I would really specifically like to go to that one because it is a Knights Templars built chateau from the 11th century, I believe. So I know that there's ruins of the chateau, of the castle fortress, but they are amazing ruins that are there, and there's still a lot to see. And this chateau now belongs to a couple who are fairly young, quite a young couple, who have actually bought this chateau, and they're doing really well actually with the restoration of the chateau and the interior, which unfortunately we can't see today. But the outside, they're doing a lot of work inside and outside. And they are called the Montalembert family. And yes, so they're gradually restoring this fortress. And they do open the doors to the inside only during the summer months. So we will come back. And it became a listed historical monument in 1862. And it's been open to visitors since the 1930s, although it was closed during the period of the Second World War. They did close it. They did close the chateau during that time, and I believe it got damaged during the Second World War. In fact, it was actually seriously damaged during the Second World War. Yes, and then a little after that, German occupiers further damaged this fortress as well. So currently it is a count and countess of Amiri de Malembert, I hope I've pronounced that right, who currently live here and own the fortress, and who are currently spending a lot of time and effort putting a lot of their energy into restoring this chateau and making it absolutely one of the most amazing chateaux of this area. And it is actually an ancestral home of theirs. So it's been in the same family, I believe, for many centuries. And also, so it's really interesting because Victor Hugo came here, the philosopher, the poet. He loved coming here. When he came here, he was traveling through from Paris, and he was coming up through this way. And he stopped through this little town of Lassay-les-Chateaux, and he had to stop and spend time here. And this is what he said: "I saw Lassay, a charming little semi-wild town located right in the middle of the side roads, which has 3 castles, 2 of which are admirable, which I drew." So he drew the chateau, the Lassay.